And speaking of that, I'm going to share a little bit personally from my personal story. What I'm about to share with you right now is not an endorsement or is it an opinion of iBoomerang. Yes, this is a corporate presentation. But before I jump into the corporate presentation, I want to talk to you about who I am. Because if I was sitting in my home right now or anywhere in the world watching somebody sit in a movie room in their home with their hat turned backwards, looking massively casual, I would want to know, who is this person and how can they justify my time? And I'm glad you asked, because I've been doing home based businesses for 20 years now. When I was 25 years old, 20 years ago, a friend of mine shared something with me that would change my life forever. He sent me a website. I went to the website. Now, listen, this is the year 2000. And I'm slowing down on purpose because I know that this is being translated in multiple languages around the world simultaneously right now. So I want to be respectful to the thousands of you that are tuning in around the world in your own respectful language. And we welcome you. When I was 25 years old, a friend of mine sent me a link to a website. Now, this is the year 2000. So there really wasn't video on internet yet, but there were flash presentations. So you can hit a button, sound, music starts, and the screen flips. And there was something that was said at the age of 25 that changed my life forever. Now, give you a little backstory. My earliest memory in life was being homeless. I lived in a battered women's shelter with my mother and my two older brothers. So my first memory in life was a struggle. My first memory in life was hell, if you will. And here's what I learned from my mentor, Mr. Les Brown. He said, when you find yourself going through hell, refuse to stop. And I don't know where I got it from, but early in life, I just refused to stop. And I remember as a teenager, I told myself, I'm going to be a multimillionaire. And I said that with the exact same passion that someone would say they're going to be a professional athlete. They're going to go to the Olympics. Like I said it with that exact same passion. I want to be a multimillionaire, not because of the money. It was because of the power that I could use in my life to interrupt generations that will come behind me. I refuse to allow my child's first memory of life be a struggle. That was really the reason. And I thought being a multimillionaire would help me prevent my children from experiencing trouble and just really hard times like I went through. And I can tell you it has in many ways. There are a lot of answers that money can get you access to a lot faster when you don't have money. So I'm saying all that to say this. At 25, I heard something that would change my life forever. Now, remember, as a teenager, I said I wanted to be a multimillionaire. At the age of 25, I heard something that would ultimately catapult me into that realm. And it was a quote by someone by the name of Bill Gates. Now, at that time, Bill Gates was the richest man in the world. And the richest man in the world at that time said this. It was 1999 when he said it. I didn't hear it until the year 2000. He said, the internet will create more millionaires this year than any other source in the world. He said that in 1999. I heard it in the year 2000, and that scared me. Why did it scare me? Because I wasn't making money on the internet. And he said the internet will create more millionaires this year than any other source in the world, which means the internet is a source, like the sun is a source. It's not an industry, it's a source. It's a source that feeds every industry. So if you're in business and not making money on the internet, the odds were already against my favor of what I said and I declared I wanted to do as an adult, which was become a multimillionaire. Now, that day I heard it and it scared me. I was a licensed health and life insurance agent at that time. So I sold health and life insurance. As a matter of fact, I was licensed at the age of 20. By the time I was 25, I was a regional vice president for a national firm. And I had a contract that allowed me to recruit and train agents in the state of Texas and Oklahoma. Now, the title, I looked good. My office, high rise, overlooking the city, I looked good. But my title didn't pay the bills. The truth is, I looked good, but I was going into debt. I was getting in my car every day, driving to go sell health and life insurance. And then I heard this quote. The internet's going to create more millionaires this year than any other source in the world. I wasn't selling insurance on the internet. And the internet allowed me to create opportunities around the world, not just where I live. I made a decision that day to do something I said I would never do, which was join a home-based business. That was the best financial decision I've ever made in my life. Fast forward, I've done over $1 billion in revenue in home-based businesses. And I've been a part of individuals' lives just like you that are massively successful in home-based businesses because of what you're about to see. So I said all that to say this. If you ever wanted to be at the right place at the right time, I dare you to pay attention like you've never paid attention before. I dare you just to give me 45 minutes of your life to share with you the fastest growing home-based business opportunity on the planet in 2019. So, with that being said, I am going to share my screen and invite you to the visuals that you're seeing right now. And before I get started, I got to back this up. I don't know why it always starts on the last page. Next time I'll think about that. But we have so much excitement going on right now. It's very hard to think about anything other than the fact that I want to help as many people as possible, as fast as possible as I can, to experience what I've experienced in the last 60 minutes of my life. In the last 60 minutes of my life, this company that you're looking at right now has catapulted into the mindset of individuals around the world because we are seeing people just like you become massively successful in 90 days. 90 days. So, what you're looking at right now is a company called ibuumerang. And here's a disclaimer that I want to share with you. And this is how we start every single one of our presentations. iBoomerang cannot and will not make any guarantees about your ability to get results or earn any money with our program, information, tools, or strategies. As you keep reading, the bottom line is this: what you put into iBoomerang, or any business for that matter of fact, is what you're going to get out. We can't guarantee your success. We can't guarantee your income. What you put into it, if you treat it like a hobby, there's a really good chance iBoomerang is going to treat you like a hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. Treat it like a multi-million-dollar business. I have seen it just within the last 60 minutes. One individual, one female, one lady who decided 4 or 5 months ago to treat this like a multi-million-dollar business, and that is manifesting in her life right now as we speak, and that just happened in the last 60 minutes. So, with all that being said, imagine joining a gym membership. And you think joining that gym membership alone is going to make you physically fit. It's not. You're going to have to go to the gym. You're going to have to participate. So likewise, if you want to be successful in any business, you're going to have to participate. But here's what I want you to think about right now. The network marketing industry, home-based businesses have pretty much not evolved in the last 80 years in many shape, forms, and fashion. And what I mean by that is home-based businesses typically are built on the mindset of buy my water, don't drink your water at home, drink my water so you can live. That's what you call a switch pitch. Switch your makeup to my makeup. That's typically how the home-based business arena works. Switch your electricity to my electricity. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to admit, if every other industry in the world has evolved, how come home-based businesses haven't? It's because typically in home-based businesses, it's the guy or girl that's on stage. This is a stage. There are thousands of people watching right now, and it's being translated in multiple languages. So this truly is a stage. And typically it's someone like me who's in front of you saying, anybody can sell water, anybody can sell makeup, and it's not true. Everybody can't sell. Everybody can't be that top level salesperson. That's what needs to change about the industry. What needs to change about the industry is, what if we created a first-class consumer experience for customers, and the customers were free customers? Think about the world's fastest growing companies on the planet. Amazon.com, free customers. Amazon.com owns 0 products. Amazon.com manufactures 0 products, but they're the fastest growing company in the world. Why? Technology and the access point to the free customer was a game changer. No network marketing company has done this yet until now. Imagine having success at home without selling for ambassadors. Listen, we are ambassadors of iBoomerang. Why are we ambassadors? Because we champion the cause. We're not distributors. Our founders, our executives came up with the idea of, instead of calling our members distributors, our home based business affiliates and business partners, instead of calling them affiliates or distributors, we're going to call them ambassadors. Why? An ambassador is simply one who champions the cause. That's what an ambassador is. If you are an ambassador for Red Cross, that basically means you champion the cause for Red Cross. I am an ambassador for iBoomerang. I champion the cause of sharing iBoomerang. That alone tells you that we have built the infrastructure of iBoomerang to be different. Not better, but to be different. Why? Because most companies, look at this visual, most companies look like this. It is the year 2020. If I say the word taxi cab, if I say I'm going to get a taxi, in 90% of the world, I already sound old. I already sound dated. Now, listen, this has happened in the last decade of our life. This is not something that you can go read about in history books 50 years ago. This is happening right now while I'm talking to you. So, what am I saying more so than anything else? Most companies out there in the home-based business arena, they look like a taxi, they sound like a taxi, and they defend their opportunity the exact same way taxi drivers defend why you should get in their car. Listen to me. The world is changing, and free customers are driving the experiences around the world. What if a home-based businesses finally exists where you can be successful with free customers and you sell them nothing? Do I have your attention? Let's move into the modern day arena of global business, not just network marketing, global business. Make money only when your customers save money. You hear what I just said? As an ambassador of iBoomerang, the only way I make money is when my customers save money when it comes to our product and our services. Now, I'm slowing down on purpose because I really want you to understand we are technology driven. Remember, Bill Gates said in 1999, the internet's going to create more millionaires this year than any other source in the world? 100% of everything about iBoomerang is driven by technology on the source, the internet of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to our visionary. And I'm going to slow down on this because this is very important to me, and I want it to be very important to you. I don't want you to join iBoomerang on emotions. I want you to join iBoomerang because you are excited emotionally, but you have tangible facts. You have tangible evidence that you made a smart decision. This guy right here, teaming up with him, is the smartest decision I've ever made as a businessman. And I'm a #1 best-selling author. I'm a television personality. I'm a motivational speaker. I've shared stages and done projects with some of the greatest speakers and trainers on the planet, like Les Brown, the late great Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Dr. John Gray. Done projects with Grant Cardone. So many individuals, Lisa Nichols, so many people around the world that are global giants in their arena. This guy is at the top of my list. Why? You're about to find out. Holton Buggs not only has been my best friend for 18 to 19 years, when he developed this concept and launched his own company in 2019, I knew I was going to follow him based on historically what he has done, legendary in the business of home-based businesses. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to follow somebody wholeheartedly, I want to follow someone who can relate to where I'm at. I want to follow someone who can relate to what it feels like being broke, not being able to pay your bills and starting a business at the exact same time. He can relate to that. He knows the heartbeat of the field and he understands us and he's sensitive to everything that's going on, even in the world today. iBoomerang, because of his leadership, has implemented and a stimulus package for people to join iBoomerang at a discounted rate. Why? Because of what we're going through on the planet right now, today, at the exact same time. Look at the history of this man. In the year 1990, 7 years in home based businesses, he finally gets up to $500 a month. I don't know about you, but there is nothing in my life that I want to do for 7 years to only get up to the point of making $500 a month. Why is that important? He knows pain. He knows what it feels like to be hungry. He knows what it feels like to feel like you're about to lose everything because you're passionate about where you want to go in life. He understands the individual who joins us today using their last dime to become an ambassador for iBoomerang. He understands where you are. In 1997, he developed a formula to achieve rapid success. In 2009, within a 10-year period, 2009 all the way to 2019, only 10 years, in one company, one opportunity, selling coffee, training distributors on how to sell coffee, he created over 45 people to make over $1 million in his company. Not his company, in his team. This guy knows how to create success stories. As a matter of fact, in those 10 years, he made over $100 million as a field distributor in his company selling coffee. Why is that important? Because there's no other person on the planet living that can say that. He is the Michael Jordan of network marketing. There's no living person on the planet right now that can say they made $100 million within 10 years, one company, one opportunity, one compensation plan. He's the only man alive that can say that. That's why that's important. And that man just started his own company in 2019. Not only did he start iBoomerang in 2019, in 2019, iBoomerang was the fastest growing home-based business company in the world. There was an article dropped about 6 weeks ago from a third-party vendor, a third-party research company for the whole industry of network marketing. And out of the thousands of companies that exist, I would say well over 1,000 that launched in 2019. We were number one in the world the year we launched. And we didn't have a full year. We launched in March. We officially launched actually September, the last weekend of August of 2019. So we didn't even have a full year and we were number one in the world. If you look at what we have done January, February, March, April, especially March and April of 2020, I would put my reputation on the line right now and say, I'm very confident that we right now are the fastest growing home-based business company in the world in the middle of a pandemic. Why? Because we have made it our mission to help and distract with positivity in the lives of as many people as possible that you lead to us. This presentation is an example of you leading people to us. And I believe the reason that we are growing at the rate that we're growing right now, the success stories that we are experiencing right now, I believe is because we're forced to use technology instead of getting on airplanes to go do hotel presentations. Using technology, I'm in front of thousands of people right now, and our company is growing faster than ever before. Before I move to the next slide, I want you to understand something. Yes, I am a multimillionaire. If you listen to the very first part of the presentation, but that's without iBoomerang. That's without iBoomerang. But it is because of my hunger and knowledge for knowledge and to teach people of home-based businesses as a motivational speaker, and I own my own seminar company. But I do want you to understand this. I don't own any percentage of iBoomerang, but I act like I do. I don't sit on the board of advisors for iBoomerang, but I act like I do. I don't have any stock or shares in this company, but I act like I do. So as you're listening to me, I want you to understand I am an ambassador only in iBoomerang. I am one of the top income earners. I am one of the top level ranks in the company, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm still starting as an ambassador, just like anybody else. Here are our executives, Holton Bugs, you just met him. T. Gray, VP of Operations. Mark Kitkart, VP of Marketing. David Manning, CEO of Extreme Travel. You'll learn why in just a minute. Peter Hirsch, I love Peter Hirsch. He is a chief giving officer and he takes his role very seriously. His job is to make sure that every single time an ambassador comes into the company, that a portion of that goes to feed a child that's hungry and give them proper nutrition for the day. Every time an ambassador joins, every time a boomerang is activated, a child is fed. Edwin Haynes, he is my personal sponsor in iBoomerang, one of the best leaders on the planet in home-based businesses, and I'm honored to be teamed up with him. And then you got the secret sauce, Lori Spears. She makes our connection to the travel world amazing, to say the least. Now, how will we bring this vision to the world? Well, are you ready? I'm about to show you our product. Now, I want you to prepare yourself. Some of you may want to put on your sunglasses because our product is overwhelmingly exciting and it's very bright. There it is. How do you like it? Say, Johnny has lost his mind. Why? Isn't it beautiful? Like, look at that circle. That's our product. Look at the colors inside the circle. Isn't that amazing? Don't you want to go sell that? Remember I said we don't sell anything to our customers? Because our product does it for you. The product is called the Prib. Now, when I first heard this, I didn't understand it. I understood Holton. I said, if Holton is doing something, I want to be a part of it. I just know how he thinks. He's the Michael Jordan of network marketing. He is, the Mr. Bezos who founded Amazon of network marketing. That's who he is. So whatever he's doing, I want a piece of it. And then he shows me this. Johnny, this is our product. I'm like, can you slow down and explain it one more time? Because all I see is an orange, beautiful circle. Perpetual residual income builder. Perpetual because it never stops working. It works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Residual because as long as your team is growing, as long as your customer database is growing and they are accessing the Prib, you get paid again and again and again. It's called residual income. And the builder part of it is it builds for you. It's a data, analytic, artificial intelligence, world-class people power. How can the Prib support you? Imagine a technology that's doing the selling for you, that's following up with your customers for you, that's upselling your customers for you. Your team, it welcomes your team, orientation, training, upgrades, events, retention. It does everything for you. Why is this important? Listen, let me go back to this just for a second. The Prib, I'm going to slow down because I really want you to get this. The Prib is a technology. The technology is developing an algorithm. Why would having access to a technology that's developing an algorithm every day, every second? How do you benefit from that? Well, let's sidetrack just for a second. Do you remember how Amazon.com started? Does anybody remember? Type it if you remember. What one product did they start with? Amazon.com, 15, 20 years ago. What was the one product and the only product they started with? Exactly, books. The whole world is saying it right now. They're typing books. Why? Do you think Mr. Bezos cared to educate the world? No, that's not why he started with books. I want you to put your entrepreneur hat on just for a second. Not your consumer hat. Consumers spend money. We're all consumers. Entrepreneurs invest money based on where consumers are spending money. Put that hat on. Amazon started with books. They didn't even care what books we read. They had no emotional attachment to if you get a murder mystery book or a book on how to become a chef. They didn't care. Why? Because Mr. Bezos used the first 5 years of Amazon, and he still does it today, 15 years later, pretty much 20 years later. It's an algorithm that studies the free customers. Remember, in Amazon, you can be a free customer. I'm a free customer of Amazon. But let's just go back in history and think like an entrepreneur. He used books to learn his free customers. He could have used anything. He used books. Why? If you read a book on how to become a chef, you just told Amazon at some point in the future, you're going to be buying pots and pans. You're going to be buying cooking utensils. You're going to be buying clothes to cook in. When you read a book about astrology, you're telling Amazon you may be looking at a telescope pretty soon. You are looking at things that he can sell you based on knowing that you're into the stars. Most beautiful destinations in the world. There are books on this. You buy that book, you're telling Amazon you like to travel, you like to thrill, you like to go visit and see beautiful places. So they're going to sell you things that complement what you want. Have you ever wondered why has Amazon never made us mad? And I'm not talking about shipping things to our house that are broken. I'm talking about spam. Like I hate spam. I hate every day I unsubscribe from things I never subscribed to. But I have never unsubscribed from Amazon. Why? Amazon only shows Johnny what Johnny wants to see. Well, how do they know what I want to see? They built an algorithm that has studied me for the last 15 years and they know what I like. Just yesterday, my wife and I were looking for stools, high chair stools to sit at our bar downstairs. And we also just ordered a couch for this room. Guess what I just told Amazon? I am in the mood to redecorate. So they're going to show me things based on my mood and where I'm at. Now, let's go back to the Prib. The Prib is nothing more than a technology. It's an algorithm that's going to study your customers. You don't sell your customers anything. The algorithm studies your customer, and we know what they want to be sold without you ever saying one word. And the only way an ambassador can have a customer inside the Prib is if we, as ambassador, throw them a boomerang. The genius is starting to kick in. We throw them a boomerang, and the only way you can get a boomerang is from an ambassador. You can't call iBoomerang to get a boomerang. Why is it called a boomerang? Because if I throw you a boomerang and you activate it, you now have access to the Prib. You are now a free customer inside the Prib. If you don't activate it, it comes right back to me. And it goes back into my inventory for boomerangs to give to someone else. Now, once you activate a free boomerang from the person who invited you, you go into the Prib as a customer. Now, the Prib is a technology and it's an algorithm that's studying our customers. We have over 500,000 customers our first year. I'd be willing to bet that we're very close to 1 million. And I'd be willing to bet that we will have millions upon millions of customers by the end of 2020. The question is, are you a consumer or are you an entrepreneur? I want to talk to the entrepreneurs just for a second. The iGo platform is the first door to the Prib. The iGo platform is the very first vertical that goes inside the Prib. Why? The iGo platform is a travel booking engine. Why would we start with travel? Why did Amazon start with books? Because if they know what you're reading, they know who you are. What's more fun to get customers actively doing to learn them? Travel. Here's the thing. Did you know when you go to Amazon and you search for something and you don't buy it, you still just told the algorithm you were interested? Every time you go to the iGo platform and you search for travel, we know, or I don't know, but the Prib knows. And the Prib is the only thing that's allowed to talk to the customers. We're not allowed. We are encouraged, highly encouraged. Don't talk to your customers. Let the Prib do the talking. When's the last time you talked to Amazon? That's not their business model. Their business model is to learn you and only sell you what you want. That's it. Same thing in iBoomerang, but we start with travel. Why? Because we want to know the time of year you like to travel. We want to know how many people in your family normally travel with you. Do you do business travel? How frequent do you travel? How many hotels are you staying in? Every time you go to our booking engine, you're telling us. So our infrastructure is not necessarily in the business to profit off the booking of travel. These companies, that's their only business model, is to profit on the booking of travel. Now, travel is the largest industry in the world. It's the largest industry in the world. Books are nowhere near in the top 30 largest industries in the world. And I'm a number one best-selling author, and I'm telling you that. So I'm telling you, using travel not only is smart, it's fun. It's fun. Look at what the travel industry does on a daily basis. In Asia, 6 billion a day in travel. Europe, 4.8 billion. United States, 2.8 billion. Latin America, 953 million. Africa, $487 million a day in booking. But here's what most people don't understand. There's really only two companies that run the entire world for travel booking. It's bookingholding.com and it's expediagroup.com. Those two booking engines run 45 websites and they own over $190 billion a year. This is just in 2018. So when you go to booking.com and rentalcars.com and kayak.com, you're on the same booking engine. When you go to Agoda, OpenTable, Priceline.com, Expedia.com, you're on the same booking engine. Why? They're in business to make money on the booking of travel. Now, here's where the genius comes in with Holton Bugs. Holton Bugs knows that in network marketing, in home-based businesses, the only reason it's hard to do a travel-based component in network marketing is because it is illegal to pay out commissions on the booking of travel to anyone who's not a travel agent. So let's just say I come from the travel space. I've done over $1 billion in network marketing, home-based businesses, and travel combined. Ask me how much money I've made on the booking of travel, and I've done $1 billion in sales. Zero. Why? I'm not a travel agent. They can't pay me any commission. So I only made money in the last 12 years of my life in the travel space by recruiting people to come in to the company to sell our membership. And I made $0 in travel. Now, for the first time in my life, I am making money when people book travel. Hold on, Johnny. I thought you said it was illegal to pay commissions out to somebody who's not a travel agent. Holton Bugs gets on the phones with his attorneys and says, can we pay commissions on the savings of travel? Do you understand? That's why I follow him. Something so simple nobody's ever thought about. The lawyer said, nobody's ever asked that before. We'll call you back. They call him back maybe an hour later and say, I don't know why you would want to do it, but yes, you can pay commissions on the booking of travel. No license needed. Then it clicks in. In the iGo platform, that's our travel space. It is the door to the Prib, just like books are the door to Amazon. Travel, iGo, is the door to the Prib of iBoomerang. And remember, the Prib is our product. Here's an example of what happens with the iGo platform. New York City, 4.5-star hotel, Expedia. You can see their prices. It's the same location, same everything, same day, same everything. On the iGo platform, that person saved $161 average per night on this booking. Why am I only focused on the savings? Because I get paid on savings, not the booking. These are free customers that we're making money on when they book travel. And you may say, well, Johnny, nobody's traveling right now. I wish that were true. I wish everybody would stay home right now and stay healthy. But the truth is they're not. Go do a search. When you finish this, pick up your phone and do a live flight map of any continent on the planet. See how many airplanes you see in the sky. Where are they going? I don't know. I don't know why they're going anywhere, but they're going. But let's just say they're not. Think like an entrepreneur. Would you rather be in position before something happens, or do you want to get positioned after it happens? For the first time in the history, travel has been put on hold pretty much on a major scale on a global platform. But here's what we know: people are going to travel. When the floodgates are open and people can travel again on a massive scale, travel will dwarf, it will absolutely super exceed anything it's ever done in the past in terms of revenue. Do you want to be positioned before that happens or after? An entrepreneur says, how do I get positioned in any industry before the world does it? Because that's where you make money. Can you imagine being positioned in Amazon before you knew how to spell it? Can you imagine being positioned in Google before you knew how to spell it? There are many people who got positioned in iBoomerang in the last 12 months and still can't spell it. That's a good problem because the wave is coming. The question is, do you want to ride the wave or do you want to be a consumer and we make money on you because you ride the wave? Either way, you're going to win as a consumer or an entrepreneur, but I'm here to talk about the entrepreneurs. Here's another example: Paris, France, 4-star hotel, same everything, Travelocity, iGo. Look at the savings: $310 savings per night. Why am I only focused on the savings? Because we get paid on the savings. That's how we as ambassadors get paid when our customers save money. Rental cars. People ask about rental cars. Yeah, we have rental cars. Rentalcars.com, iGo platform. $171, same booking, same everything on that savings. And you can see we send a letter to all of our customers when they save. As soon as they book, we send them a letter. And this is actually our founder, Mr. Holton Buggs. No, this is his son, Holton Buggs Jr., who saved on his first travel. So I'm going to tell you my story. And I hope that iBoomerang doesn't get mad at me for sharing this, but it's the truth. I want to tell the truth. I want to be super transparent. When I joined iBoomerang, I didn't know how to get to the iGo platform. I was only focused on building. So I really didn't spend time learning how to navigate and use the iGo platform. And we were all going to meet in New York the first weekend of November. And right around October, when I agreed to go to New York, Holton Buggs was going to be there, Edwin Haynes, a few other people, Michael Jacks, and we were launching, doing some big things on the East Coast. I was going to stay in Manhattan like I normally do, 5-star hotel like I normally do. But I typically use American Express travel to book my travel because I'm the highest level with American Express. I also only use AmericanAirlines.com because I'm the highest level with AmericanAirlines.com. Something told me, Johnny, you're going to go to New York and do a presentation for iBoomerang. Why not have a testimony before you get there? And that's the only reason I use my iGo platform. Because I want you to understand, I did not join iBoomerang for what it is today. I joined iBoomerang because of what it's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. So I'm just being honest with you. They launched in 2019. I come from the travel space. I really didn't have faith in the iGo platform because it was new. I didn't understand that Holton Buggs bought a 19-year-old company. He bought a company that already existed in the travel space for over 19 years. So when I went to the iGo platform, same booking, same hotel, same everything, I saved $2,200. I got an email just like this, $2,200 on my first booking. Do you think I was a believer before I did my first presentation? I used the product, saved $2,200. Here's what I didn't know. My sponsor made $1,100 on that one booking. He had no idea where I booked. He had no idea where I was staying. All he cared is within 60 days from that booking, he was getting paid. That's the iGo platform, people. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to talk to your customers. You don't have to know where they're traveling. You don't have to get involved with their booking. You get paid when they save money. 5-star lifestyle at 3-star prices. Here are the core services under the iGo platform. Hotels, car rentals, cruises, flights, homes, weekend getaways, marketplace travel, timeshare owners. You have access to all these portfolios that are available around the world with a 19-year-old booking engine that Holton Bugs bought. So here's the thing. Additional services. Now, I want you to think like an entrepreneur while I tell you this. Shore excursions, theme parks, outdoor activities. Why is this important? Wine clubs, gift cards, restaurant savings. Because remember the Prib? The Prib knows what shore excursions you're going on. The Prib knows what theme parks you like to go to, where you like to eat. The Prib is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, learning our customers. So if you like to go zip lining, you just told the Prib you like zip lining. So for the next 3 to 5 years, the Prib is studying you, knowing what you like to do, knowing what your passions are. And we know that the Prib is going to sell you our next service or product, not us. Now, do you see that car down there at the very bottom to the right? Guess what the second vertical is going to be? We'll talk about that in just a second. Here's an example for you and your customers. I want you to focus on the writing towards the bottom. 50% is paid to the referring ambassador, a direct travel savings bonus. Now, 35% is converted into commissionable volume and is paid upline throughout the organization. So, give you an example. Let's say I brought on Samantha and she becomes an ambassador. Samantha gets 10 customers. Those 10 customers book once a year. Every one of those customers are also my customers. I'll never know who they are. I'll never know their name. I'll never have access to them. But anything that they consume inside the Prib, I'm financially rewarded. And I never knew they existed. Here's how it works. Your customer that you bring in, you throw them a boomerang, they activate the boomerang, they book their first travel. Let's say they save $212, like this real life example says. You, as the ambassador, would make a travel savings bonus of $106. Starting to make sense? Here's another visual that I want you to understand. Let's say you have 10 customers, and I have 120 customers right now while I'm talking to you. Right now, in 6 months, I've acquired 121 customers. At all times, I always have access to 100 boomerangs. I always buy more boomerangs in my back office because I love having inventory. If I'm in business, I have inventory. I can log in at any time, at any point. Any of my team members want to know how many boomerangs I have. I promise you it's always going to be over 100. Because if I hit 99, I'm going to buy 25 more boomerangs. Why? I'm a businessman. I want to be in business. I want to be seen in business, and I want to be seen having inventory. And I expect to have that many customers. So let's just say you started, and within your first 90 days, you got 10 free customers. And let's just say within the first 12 months of those 10 customers, they all saved $600 a piece on travel for the year. Remember, my first saving was $2,200. But let's just say it's $600 for the entire year per customer. That's $6,000 annual savings. Look to the left and see how much money you made as the ambassador. $3,000 on free customers. Now, let's talk about team building. Let's say that you have 50 ambassadors in your team. Let's say it took you 6 months. You got 50 ambassadors in your team that you brought into iBoomerang. Like the people who are watching right now, you were invited by an ambassador. That ambassador hopes that you decide to join. They're not doing any of the work. I'm doing the work for them. Why? We want to show you that we work as a team. Now, the person who invited you, they could have sent you to a video to explain all this. But you coming live, it shows you that we are real people and we work as a team. The same way we're working for the person who invited you, we're going to work for you when you join and you invite people. So let's just say 50 ambassadors join your team. Not you got 50 ambassadors. If you got 5 people and those 5 got 10 ambassadors, that's 50 ambassadors in your team. And let's just say out of those 50 ambassadors, each ambassador got 10 free customers their first 6 months. Annually, they save $600 on average per customer. These are the studies that are already starting to come forth. Remember, my first saving was $2,200, but average customer saves $600 on one booking a year, or maybe two bookings a year, whatever it is. 500 customers, $600 in savings. That's an average of $20,000 a year for you. And all you did was have 50 ambassadors with 10 customers apiece, free customers. Your residual income is already over $1,700 a month. Do you guys see what's happening here? And we're just getting started. So the question is, how many ambassadors do you want in your organization? How many customers do you want in your organizations? Now, this slide right here is massively exciting. Why? Holton Buggs just purchased his own rideshare company. You can go right now and download the Vibe Ride app. It's not coming soon. It's available right now. Now, a Vibe Ride in your area is coming soon. So here's my question for you. Is it better to be prepared for the call, or is it better for you to be called and not prepared? Right now, I'm recruiting drivers. I'm getting my customers to download the app. Why? Because I want to be prepared for what's about to happen. Right now, Vibe Ride is officially launched its markets in Houston, Texas, I believe the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, as well as Orlando, Florida, Disney World, and Miami area in Florida. Those are our testing markets that we're doing a beta on the Vibe Ride. Why is it called Vibe Ride? Because you get to choose the vibe. Here's why the customers will choose Vibe Ride over the other rideshare companies. Number one, they're free customers in the Prib. So if we have 500,000 customers inside the Prib and we know when they're traveling, guess what happens when they land in Miami? Here's your $25 gift code for you to book your first Vibe Ride. That's why they'll use Vibe Ride for the first time. Now, let's go even further. They get to choose their vibe. You get to choose the music before the car picks you up. They know what music you want playing. They know what you want your air conditioner on. And if you're a female, they know that you want a female driver. This app that's already in place with Vibe Ride is going to revolutionize the rideshare industry. Why are we starting with rideshare? Because rideshare is one of the fastest growing segments in the travel space when it comes to transportation. So Holton loves to participate at the top. Let me tell you something. It costs more money and more investment to organize a rideshare company than it does to start a network marketing company. So why would the owner of a brand new company invest more money in rideshare technology when all he had to do was focus on the Prib and iGo? Holton is the Michael Jordan of network marketing. He doesn't go small. He goes big. Our company is 100% solid debt free. We don't owe anybody anything right now. Everything that we own in iBoomerang, or everything iBoomerang owns, is liquid assets. Why? Holton Buggs. So the first vertical that goes into the Prib is iGo, the travel platform. The second vertical that goes into the Prib is Vibe Rides. Do you see number 3 and number 4? It's coming. The question is, how many customers do you want inside the Prib before we launch the next verticals? Let's just focus on Vibe Rides right now. Vibe Ride in the rideshare industry, 98 million rideshare passengers right now have downloaded an app for rideshare. 98 million. So the world already knows that they like rideshare programs. 5.3 million drivers and growing around the world. The rideshare industry is $24.4 billion. That's a $1.2 trillion transportation industry. And 24.4 billion of that is rideshare. Rideshare is a new concept. It's a new concept, but it happens to be one of the fastest growing companies in the world with the rideshare app. So why would rideshare customers come to us instead of the other ones? Well, they're in the Prib. We communicate with our customers inside the Prib. So every single one of your customers, you don't have to tell them about Vibe Rides. We will. The technology will tell them. Now, if you want to move fast, hard, and heavy, I'll show you a technology that we're all using to share Vibe Rides with people, and the technology does all the work for us. Now, before I go to the next slide, I want you to understand something. Why would a driver add Vibe rides to their portfolio? Because we're not in competition with the other rideshare companies. It's not our business model. Our business model is not to take them out. Our business model is not to drive them out of business. We need them to stay in business. Why? Because they're doing a lot of the work for us. They're training the drivers, they're training the industry, they're creating the culture. So, why would Vibe Ride get their drivers? Because they don't have the council where they are. It's open door policy. All you have to do is turn the app on and service our customers when they need you. Remember, the customers are inside the crib. Now, here's a major reason why Vibe drivers will shoot through the roof from drivers who are already part of the other programs. Because there's three ways to earn. Three ways to earn. You earn when you drive, you earn when others drive, and you earn when your customers ride. So imagine, and I did this when I was in Houston. I did it when I was in Miami. When I found out that Holton was going to launch his own rideshare company, I started practicing just to see if it would work. So when I was in a rideshare, and I use them all the time all over the world, I started asking a question that would shock them. I love asking shocking questions. I would ask the driver, how much money do you make when you're not driving? And they look at me like I'm crazy. No driver makes money when they're not driving. What are you talking about? What if I could show you how to make money when you're not driving? What are you talking about? Well, there's a new rideshare company that just launched and they're doing beta markets right now, but I know they're coming to markets all over the world. And we need drivers to help us recruit other drivers. So, what if you made money on every single driver that you led to our company every time they drive? You don't have to know their name. You don't have to know when they're driving. You don't have to do anything. Our technology will attach that person to you for the rest of your life. And anytime they drive, you get paid. That's how you can make money when you're not driving. How many drivers do you know? Do you guys starting to see this? Now, why would the riders use Vibe Rides? Because of our safety features. Women can literally order only women drivers. There are so many things in the Vibe Ride app that separate us from all the other ones, but it has everything to do with the satisfaction of our customers that are inside the crib. So we have an internal consumption database of customers that will be downloading the app once it's available in their area. Let me ask you a question. When's the best time to get on an airplane? When it's on the ground or when it's in the air? This is a ground floor opportunity. This is not something that we're trying to do. This is not something that we're doing a test on. It's coming. It's already starting. So would you like to have more customers than your neighbor? Would you like to have more drivers than your neighbor? If you don't get your neighbor, we will. This is word of mouth marketing. All you have to do is invite people to us and we'll tell them that we're real. And the Prib will do all the work after that. So here's an example of a $100 fare breakdown of real payout of what would happen to the driver if you look to the left. The driver earns $75 on that $100 fare. They're pretty used to that. They're used to that kind of money right in that area. I would say we probably pay a little bit more, but not a lot more than the other rideshare programs. So why would they switch? Well, when you refer another driver, you make money on every drive they take. And based on how excited you are about helping build the concept of Vibe Ride, there is a drive share pool. So there will be people who make money in a share pool based on rides and drives that are going on around the world. Now look at the other vertical from a customer standpoint. Why would somebody download the app and become a rider or a customer with Vibe Rides? Well, when they do inside the Prib, because we're offering them benefits. Remember, the Prib is studying them exactly like Amazon studied its customers. But the difference is we know where you're going to go eat based on your Vibe Ride. We know where you're going. We know what you like to do. We know what the time of day you like to do it. We're studying the customers. Remember, I'm not a part of ibuumerang because of what it is today. I'm a part of iBoomerang because of where we're going in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the thinking you want to have. Because as we're studying the customer, the PRIB, the technology is studying the customers for the next 3 to 5 years. We're going to know everything that they love. And the Vibe Ride is going to take them to everything they love to get. And you're going to get paid from people who ride and people who drive. Do you understand? This is just one vertical in the PRIB. Travel's one vertical. Vibe Ride is one vertical. Johnny, tell me what the other verticals are. I can't tell you yet, but I can tell you this. It's going to revolutionize home-based businesses. You will never and have never seen a home-based business that thinks this far ahead like Netflix did. Netflix thought so far out that the number one rental company in the planet, home movie rental company in the planet, made fun of them, laughed at them. Blockbuster's Video had the opportunity to purchase Netflix and it didn't. Blockbuster's Video was the largest company in the world for home movie rentals and video games. In the world, thousands of stores. Now there's only one left on the planet, and I think it's a museum. Holton Bugs is Netflix. The other companies, they're blockbusters. I'm not saying they're going to go out of business, but I am saying many of their reps and their distributors will become ambassadors just because we're cutting edge. We're cutting edge. We're thinking 5 years from now. And while we're thinking 5 years from now, the only thing we want you to do is get the free customers into the PRIB, and we'll do the rest of the work. So do you boomerang? That's going to be a household question in the next 5 to 10 years. Do you boomerang? You know how people say, did you Google that? If you sneeze, like, do you want a Kleenex? They don't say tissue. They say Kleenex. Why? It's a household name. I'll FedEx it to you. You say I'll FedEx it to you when it's UPS, when it's the Postal Service. It's just something we say. The time will come where the whole world says, do you boomerang? And the answer is going to be, yes, of course I boomerang. But until then, it's our job to make it a household name. Whoever helps us create this technology into a household name the fastest will definitely make the most money. Will definitely make the most residual income. That's where I want your mindset at. These are QR codes and codes that we're just showing you this. They're smart codes so you can understand the thinking. This is already in place. The thinking of where we're headed. You can literally put your phone up to somebody else's phone, boop, and they automatically download the Vibe app. And that code is directly connected to you. You never have to say one other thing. You don't have to sell them anything. You don't have to train them on how it works. Nothing at all. Anytime they take a ride, it's connected back to you. That's a driver or a rider. It doesn't matter. That technology is already in place. So imagine, you know somebody who owns a club. You know somebody who owns a restaurant that stays open late. You go to that restaurant owner and you say, listen, how much money do you make when you're no longer allowed to sell alcohol because it's past the hour? They're going to say, we don't make any money. That's why we close and everybody goes home. There's no more money being made. So what if you give them the idea of, what if you become a part of iBoomerang? You become an ambassador. Every napkin that you have at the bar has this code on it. And on there, it says, listen, get home safe, scan this code, order your ride. You didn't train them anything. You don't know the drivers. You don't know anything. But every single time one of your customers gets a Vibe ride, you get paid, even when it's after hours, which you're normally not used to making money after hours. That's just one idea. Cruise ships, pulling up to a dock. These codes being out. Listen, guys, the sky is the limit for Vibe rides. It's already in place, but the difference is we pay you to get riders. We pay you to get drivers. Not a one-time referral fee. We pay you perpetually. Why? Because it's a PRIB, perpetual residual income builder. That's our product, the PRIB. Showing you this slide for one reason and one reason only. I want you to understand who Holton Bugs is. Nothing was wrong with our compensation plan. We were making good money. Brand new company, making great money. Holton Bugs calls all the diamonds in for a meeting. And the meeting goes a little bit something like this. Leaders, what do you think about us giving the entire field a raise? We're not going to argue with that. Now, typically, companies figure out a way to take commissions away. I've experienced that firsthand. Holton, within the first year of the launch, walks in and gives us a raise called a fast start accelerating bonus. You don't have to understand this. I want you to understand this point. The point is, he gave us a raise without talking about it. He gave us a raise without us complaining. He gave us a raise when everything was fine. This raise gave me a 20% weekly increase in my commissions for doing nothing more other than the fact the Michael Jordan of network marketing, the best owner of a network marketing company on the planet, walks in and gives us a raise only because he knows what it's like to be us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's iBoomerang. We are always going to deliver at the top, even above and beyond our own expectations. So what do you think we're going to do for the customers? If he does that for the reps, for the ambassadors, what do you think he's going to do for the customers, the free customers? You got to think 3 to 5 years from now, not today. If you truly want to maximize this opportunity, you can join us 5 years from now and still make a lot of money. But for those of you who think like an entrepreneur, you want to get positioned before the floodgates, get positioned, ride the wave with us. Everybody else can meet us on the other side when we're a household name. Nothing wrong with that. But the ground floor ambassadors, those will be the ones you read about forever. Here's an example of the structure of what happens when you join iBoomerang and you start building ambassadors in your organization. You are at the top of your organization. You have a left team and you have a right team. When you bring on someone left and you bring on someone right who become ambassadors, that starts your organization. And anything that happens on your left and right team, it rolls up to you. I don't care if you have 10,000 customers on your left team and 100 customers on your right. All 1,100 of those customers rolls up to you. Same thing with ambassadors and so forth and so on. This screen is an example of a visual. You see where it says maximum pay per week is $250,000 a week. That's the max cap. Now, some of you may look at that and say, that's just too good to be true. And it is for a lot of people. It's not too good to be true for me because I've lived this. And I've seen companies cap me where I can't make any more money regardless of what I do because I've capped. This is the most lucrative compensation plan opportunity that I have ever seen in network marketing. I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never seen anything like this. So when you decide to join us, everybody comes in as a standby ambassador for $50. And I want to jump into the actual packages that we have to offer when you become an ambassador. As an ambassador, you can be a coach class ambassador, a business class ambassador, or a first class ambassador. If you're a coach class, here's what comes with that. You get hotel and flight and rental cars in the iGo platform. A coach class ambassador on the iGo platform will have access to those. You get 10 boomerangs when you start the business. Remember I said, I always have 100 boomerangs in my inventory at all times. Anybody in my team, you have my permission at any point you see me anywhere in the world. If you call me and you say, Johnny, send me a screenshot of how many boomerangs you have, I guarantee you I'll always have more than 100. Always. I have 121 customers and I have 100 boomerangs always in stock, ready to go. Why? Because I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. When you join Coach Class, you start with 10 boomerangs, which will allow you to get 10 free customers your first month. You run out of boomerangs, you can order more. For pennies on the dollar, you order more boomerangs to acquire more customers. So you get 10% commissions in the dual team compensation plan. That's your left and your right team. You make 10% of the volume that rolls up into your compensation. All right. $250 and then $99 a month starting your second month. That's Coach Class. Business class, you get everything Coach has, but you also get cruises. You get 25 boomerangs instead of 10. So you have more access to get more than double the amount of customers your first month in the business. So paying $500 versus 250 will pay for itself when your customers start booking and start using the product. 12% in the dual team compensation plan instead of 10%. So you basically give yourself a raise for your first 30 days when you come in as business class. First class, I'm a first class member. I joined first class. I'd say about 80% of the ambassadors that I have brought into iBoomerang are first class, or they end up upgrading to first class at some point. Business class from home, you get everything that you got in business, everything you got in coach, but you also get the weekly getaways, the home escapes, the marketplace product, lifestyle products, as well as timeshares. You get 50 boomerangs instead of 25. Now you have the access to get 50 customers. Remember, I started first class. So I had 50 boomerangs put into my account on the first day. Had no idea what that meant. Now, this is way back early on. I had no idea what it meant. Didn't know how to do it. Didn't know how to activate it. Didn't even know how to send it. I watched one simple video in the back office that the Prib put together, and the Prib told me how to activate my customers. Super simple. Trust me. If I can do it, anybody can do it. 15% commissions, but I also get 100% of the travel savings bonuses as well as business class the same. But your travel savings bonuses increase based on the level you come in on. So you can literally give yourself a raise by starting at the top. Okay. And that's $1,000 and then $99 a month starting the second month. Now, since this is a corporate presentation, I'm going to tell you this. In my own presentations, I don't even bring this up. Why? Because I don't have to. It's still worth it. The stimulus package that Holton Bugs has put into place, he put $1 million into the stimulus package during everything that we're going through right now around the world at a discounted rate. I believe you could join first class right now for $800. $800 total once everything is said and done. I don't know how long that promotion is going to be. I think it's just for the month of April, if I remember right. The reason I don't remember is because I don't talk about it. I never talk about the discount. When I sign people up, they go see it and they go say, "Hey, Johnny, it's $1,000. I mean, it's $800. It's not 1,000." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Holton Bugs put $1 million up and bought it down for a certain amount of people until the end of April. It's a bonus. Take it." Okay. So those are the levels that you can come in. Now, here's how I want to end it right now. Get started with us. You don't have to understand everything right now to make money with us. All you have to do is get started. We have fast start video presentations that teach you what to do your first 24 hours after getting started. Remember, you're not allowed to sell anything to your customers. We encourage you never to talk to your customers. Why? Because the Prib does all the work for you. We have people that are watching this right now that joined us in the last 7 days that are already making money. There are people who are watching right now that joined this morning, and they have people watching live right now. And those individuals, when they join, that starts both of their businesses. Why? We work as a team. We want you to understand we will help you get your business off the ground. We will help you understand how to get free customers just by simply plugging into our trainings that we're doing like this. Now, I have been on this webinar with you for right around an hour. What does that mean? Invite people to the next presentation and let us do the work for you. We're going to be doing another presentation that I'm going to be doing, and that presentation is going to be at 3 p.m. exactly 80 minutes from right now. 80 minutes from right now. Is that correct? Yes. An hour and 45 minutes from right now. I'm going to do another presentation. There's the information. It's a different Zoom room, so you got to write that down. But the person who invited you out, they'll get you to this presentation. Why am I showing you this? Is because I want you to know you get started with us right now. You got an hour and a half to invite as many people as you want to the next presentation, and we'll help you start building your business right now. We're going to call that a triple hitter Tuesday. We did it at 9 a.m., doing it right now at 12 p.m., and we're going to do it again at 3 p.m., all Central Standard Time. People from all over the world are tuning in right now, and I'm going to empower you to get people to the next presentation. An hour and a half from right now, we will be live. That's the information. If you're looking at this and you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the Boom. The Boom is real. We're super excited to have you. We'll see you next time. God bless.